Well, looks like changes are coming to the way of Ontario when it comes to families with children living with autism.
I think that, we recognize that this is a difficult issue, one where we needed a greater deal of flexibility, and one that had to be focused on a needs-based programs.
And that was Lisa MacLeod yesterday as the provincial government did an about-face of sorts yesterday when it comes to autism funding and the model of it. After months of protests, the PCs now say they want to hear from parents and other experts on this issue. Now, earlier the government had said it was capping funding at a maximum of $20,000 a year for kids under 6. Kids over 6 would get $5,000 a year until they're 18, and of course that caused a lot of controversy here. Parents say that is not nearly enough, with some of the help they need costing in the tens of thousands of dollars. And joining me now this morning is Marguerite Chabas from the Ontario Autism Coalition. Thank you so much for being here. You are a mother of a 7-year-old boy named Peter who lives with autism. And so yesterday's announcement, well, let's just say the last few years have been interesting in the battle with the government, the Liberals and now the PCs. Where are you now when you hear this, a bit of backtracking here?
Well, I mean, let's first start. The announcement in February completely broke the trust with the community. It's going to take a lot to gain that back. Yes, yesterday's announcement was positive. They're on the right track. Consultations are crucial in developing a program that's actually going to make, have an impact on children and families. That being said, we're going to have to wait and see where that goes. And these consultations should have happened 6 months ago, not after the fact. The program enrolled a couple of days ago, April 1, and age caps and financial limits remain today. And it needs to be a needs-based therapy for our kids.
The last few years, your son has been receiving the therapy that he needs. What's next?
Well, first of all, we did wait. There's always been wait lists. So we waited over almost 3 years for therapy for him. He's been thriving. We're talking ABA therapy and other therapies can be the difference between a child communicating, between a child being toilet trained, being able to socialize in the community. We're going to see a reduction in his hours over the next while as we transition out. And then who knows what this new program will look like. He's on the severe end of the spectrum right now, and so his needs are significant. We're hoping to continue to get some support for him and all the kids who truly need it to be able to thrive in our society.
Parents that we've been speaking to, we've seen visuals of the rallies, the protests. You are fighting for your family. And I'm just looking at you right now. It's very difficult. You're getting very emotional just talking about it because you want to see your son thrive. You want to see these kids thrive because these are their futures. It doesn't end when they hit 18.
I want to live in a community, in a society that values everyone, that takes care of its most vulnerable. Of course, my children are, I'm a mama bear, and so I want to protect them. That being said, I go out there and I see other parents doing the same thing, and our instinct is to protect them too. It should be everyone's. We shouldn't have to fight for this.
Tomorrow, Marguerite, there's going to be an education rally. Hundreds of schools across the province are going to be taking part. When it comes to education reform, another key when it comes to what's happening with the government, some changes they've made. However, this goes hand in hand with the educators and the students living with autism. So tell me a little bit about what you're going to be doing tomorrow, because you'll take part as well.
Absolutely. I mean, first of all, we have to say the announcement yesterday had all 3 ministers, the Minister of Social Services, of Education and Health, standing hand in hand, talking about how they're going to put the child in the center and that they will collaborate and work together. That's huge, and it's extremely important. It should be there already. So we are hopeful to see great things with their collaborations. That being said, right now, the education system is not equipped to want to take care of our kids, but secondly, teach them. We need therapists in the schools collaborating with the teachers, and we need enough EAs to take care of the more vulnerable kids who need those supports. It's only then that we are going to see our kids reach their potential. So we are hopeful that through these consultations, all three ministries will start, taking responsibility for these things and really taking care of everyone in our society.
Yeah, well said. Marguerite, appreciate your time. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Of course, we'll continue to follow this story. Stay with citynews.ca.